Michelle is a musician with albums released as Everyone Except Me and artist behind the post-apocalyptic webcomic Stray Cats. She's kind, a bit shy, and furiously creative. Henrique is a filmmaker with over 24 films and TV shows as producer, director, and occasionally host. He also released a couple of music albums. He's bombastic, larger than life, and tenacious almost to a fault. Together, they've been best friends for a decade. This show is awkward.
So, Michelle, is this your new gag that you non-verbally respond so that I look like an asshole on the podcast? Is that your new move? Is that your power move now?
No.
Well, this is a very special episode because we're doing it on the weekend. That's why I'm wearing a tank top.
Oh.
Because it's the weekend, you know?
Oh, I'm not wearing a tank top today.
Didn't you get my message?
No.
I literally said, like, wear a tank top or everyone you love will die.
Damn it. Again? I have to stop finding people that I love.
That's what I say whenever I watch, like, the Death Wish movies. Charles Bronson's like, every movie, it's like, how often can your wife and or daughter get murdered or raped or both? Because there are like 6 of those. And it's like, those movies are phenomenal, by the way, because they're so ridiculous. But it's like the moment Charles Bronson like kisses a woman, it says like, you know, I really love you. You're like, dude, she is gonna get machine gunned to death. And then he'll be like, I can't take this anymore. And then he'll start shooting everybody. Anyway, but no, so we're recording this on a Saturday because Michelle is just so busy with being a big shot that she had to push our recording back twice.
Yeah.
No, but no, we pushed recording back twice because you lucked into 2 inspections in a row that you were able to shadow, I guess. Is that the phrase?
Yeah.
So for those who do not know, for the uninitiated, Michelle is in school to become a home inspector. I'm guessing because she wants to be a real estate agent or a realtor or something.
Yeah,
you know?
that's it.
A friend of mine wanted to ask you about that. He wanted to know, do you need special insurance when you're a home inspector?
You need
do.
errors and omissions insurance.
You know that I know things about that type of insurance. That's the insurance I have to buy on movies when they get released on major platforms. I have to buy ENO. ENO. I've never heard of ENO outside of show business. That's crazy.
Yeah, because we mess up sometimes because we suck. No, because we're people probably. So
hopefully.
So like it's for when, you know, you don't notice that someone's house is going to fall down, and then they call you and they're like, my house is falling down, and then you're like, oh, okay, and then
like,
you
it's
call.
Fine, I'm insured from omissions. I omitted that the house was going to was on fire currently.
Yeah, I forgot to note that it was on fire when we were there.
Oh, I omitted. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to get ENO insurance. Do you know how much that costs? No? See, on movies, it's anywhere from $2,000 per movie to like $4,000 or $5,000.
Yeah,
Sorry. I was just gonna say, if anyone is listening who is either currently a filmmaker or an aspiring filmmaker, if you're ever told you have to get ENO insurance from a distributor, like you have to have ENO for us to release it, don't use their agent, because fuck that. they're probably getting a kickback by sending all these random filmmakers to go pay them $3,000. So if they say you need ENO insurance, be like, okay, great. And then tell them you'll talk to them in a day or two and shop around for ENO insurance. Do you know, I see it's so, I was not prepared for this. I was not prepared for you to say errors and omission insurance. I almost thought you were fucking with me.
No.
Because I've bitched about the ENO before, because one of my producers I've worked with talks about how ENO insurance on movies is awful because you pay all this money for ENO, but then if somebody sues you for an error or an omission in your movie, your ENO, generally your ENO policy just evaporates because they decide like, we don't want to cover you anymore because you fucked up. So literally his words were, and this is a producer who's been in the business for like 40 years and made over 100 some movies. And he was like, and his response was, he was like, what am I even doing? I should be in the ENO insurance business. They're like, look, all we ask is that you pay us for insurance and then we never pay it out. It's a very simple business model. Okay. Can you guys get on board?
There's a lot of insurances like that. Like pet insurance is like that.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
From what my research, pet insurance is valuable if, number one, if you start when the pet is extremely like a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. That's when it really, because I got, you know me, and now, and you segued perfectly into me talking about what's going on with the dogs. But you know me, I'm very obsessive with the care of my dogs. And when I got Hen Wolf and she was maybe 6, maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 7, we don't really know exactly how old she was. Pet insurance was just too expensive to get for her. Which would have been ironic, though, if it was like, wow, so Henrik's dog's insured. Meanwhile, Henrik hasn't had health insurance in 9 years. But the dog, but no, so it turned out that like my premiums, like the monthly payments were going to be, I forget now, but it was over $100. And I was like, well, an exam at the vet is $60.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at my place, or $70. It's $60 or $70. I can't remember, for a senior exam. That's only $10 more than a standard exam, by the way. I mean, like, at first I got mad because I was like, I have to pay for a senior exam. And I was like, it's $10 more. Mm-hmm. And it's because on average, the older dogs need more time with the vet than the younger
Makes
dogs.
Sense.
So yeah, I looked into it, and I was using a calculator, and I was punching in like different things. And I was like, oh, if my dog was like 6 months old, this would be like $35 and may totally be of value. Mm-hmm. But no. And I adopted older dogs. Speaking of which, I spent so much money this week on my dogs.
Yeah, you did.
In fact, I'm waiting rather impatiently for my vet to call me with the final results of Hen Wolf's medical thing. So I guess, should we just go into that now, or should we save it?
It's up to you, whatever you want to do.
I guess I'll just go into it now real quick. So what's been up with me this week is I got heat stroke, it appears, on Sunday, and I've been kind of funny all week, like a little off all week. So Wednesday, Chicano has a vet appointment to get his booster shots and an exam, his checkup for the year. And they do sometimes recommend, as the dogs get older, that they get a checkup every 6 months. So I take them in pretty regularly. Again, it's $70. It's really not that much for the peace of mind of knowing like the dog is healthy. So Chicano gets examined, and he's doing great, other than I noticed he had a little growth on his chest. So the vet looks at the growth and he goes, okay, well, we're going to take a little, piece out of it, and we're going to look at it under a microscope and see what we think about it. So he takes a little piece, and he goes and he looks at it under the microscope, and he comes back and he says, okay, so from what I could see in the microscope, and for those who don't have pets or who haven't had to have growths looked at and stuff with pets, they can only do so much with the exam with a microscope. They're not specialists. They're just general practitioners for animals. Mm-hmm. So generally they will either tell you this is absolutely not cancer, or they'll say, I don't know what this is and I don't like it. Those are basically the only two answers you get. Mm-hmm. So also, you've frozen on my side, so the show may be very hilarious.
No, I can still see you fine. This is crazy.
Did I freeze last time you froze?
No.
Yeah, you're frozen, and you're frozen looking like this.
Oh, man.
So sorry about you. Get a better computer. I don't know.
Oh, good. Now everything froze. Oh, no, it's okay again.
But so anyway, ultimate. I wish I could do this on purpose to you. It'd be funnier.
I just don't understand why yours doesn't reset. Like, why it doesn't come back.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. You could try hitting stop video and start video.
Do you want me to do that?
Try it. Whatever. We're scientists.
Where's that button?
It's next to mute. Stop video.
Do you see buttons? It says the application is not responding.
Oh, so your Zoom is like completely frozen?
Yes.
Nice. Thanks a lot, Michelle.
That's okay, because you were just going to see that anyway. Once it starts responding again, I'll see if I can fix it.
Anyway, so Well, so anyway, I'm trying not to laugh because now I'm looking at you frozen in time.
I'm sorry.
So the vet looked at the growth and said, I don't like the way this looks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, so what do we do? And he was like, well, I'd probably recommend removal. And I was like, okay, because I've been through this with Henwolf twice. Henwolf had to have multiple fatty tumors removed in surgery. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll do that. And he said, well, if you would like, I can send it to a specialist. It'll cost an extra $100, but the specialist will really be able to tell you, like, what is this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I said, yeah, let's send it to a specialist. Well, the specialist got back to us later that day, which was very awesome of them to do. And the specialist said, okay, I can't say for sure it's malignant. Like, it may be benign. All I can say for sure is that it's highly unaggressive.
Okay.
He could tell by the scar tissue or whatever that it's not growing fast.
Okay.
But he was like, but I would recommend removal.
Yeah.
So we booked Chicano to get his tumor removed that Thursday, or the following Thursday, which is coming up. And that's fine. Chicano's been through surgery once with me. He had his teeth cleaned, and he did a good job. He's a timid boy, but he did a good job. Now, that made me super worried and stressed out because Henwolf actually needed a vet appointment because she's having some health problems.
Mm-hmm.
So number one, the big thing is Henwolf had like 4 problems I wanted looked at, but the biggest one is, unfortunately, Henwolf has been having trouble with incontinence. She's been leaking, pee when she goes to sleep sometimes.
Yeah.
And when I first got her, that was a thing, but it was extremely rare. And the vet had said, just keep an eye on it. And if it increases, then, we'll do something about it. With spayed dogs, with female dogs that have been spayed, they tend to become a little incontinent when they get much older. Larger dogs, it can happen earlier, and also sometimes it just happens early. They do have a pill for it, but there was also the chance that she would need surgery. She also had 2 growths of her own, which it looks like are fine. So
good.
But because of that, I spent almost $400 on Chicano's vet appointment, and then I went and did Henwolf's, and I spent $420 on Henwolf's vet appointment on 2 days later. We didn't need to send her growth out, her growth test out, because the doctor looked at it and was like, this is just fat liquid. It's just full of fat liquid.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a big deal. He is going to look at the fat liquid under a microscope just in case, but he said not to worry about it. He wouldn't recommend removal. In fact, since he did that, the little growth on top of her head has been gone. Because I guess they
just pulled it all out. Yeah.
So maybe it won't come back. Fingers crossed. But yeah, he was like, I'm not really worried about that. The incontinence, before they can treat it, they need to make sure it's not something bad.
Mm-hmm.
So first up is a urinalysis and a blood test, of course. And the urinalysis will tell us if her kidneys or bladder are infected, which it probably is not because she's acting normal otherwise, but it could be. So, we'll check. If it is, it's antibiotic city.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, then we start giving her a medication called Proin, which is for female dogs to help stop incontinence.
Wow.
The reason female dogs who've been spayed become incontinent is because estrogen levels drop when you're spayed. And then as you get older, your estrogen levels drop naturally.
Mm-hmm.
And estrogen is what keeps like all of that stuff tight.
Wow.
The muscles, in my dog's vagina. So
that's good.
I was like trying to think of like how to say it. And then I was like, just whatever. Like, we're talking in a medical context.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It just makes me think of Louis C.K. when he had that joke on his show Louis, where he was just like, my daughter has an infected vagina. Her vagina is very infected. Just anyway. So the good news is, based on the appointment, the doctor thinks everything's fine.
Okay.
If for some reason there's no infection and the Proin doesn't have an effect, which it is highly effective, so it's unlikely, but if it doesn't have an effect, then we got to bring her in and do an ultrasound, and they'll just check out all of it, that whole area, and make sure there's not something that needs surgery. So we're probably okay, but I am actually waiting for my goddamn vet to text me, or to call me rather. And let me know what the final results are. So it's only 1:00. He has like 3 or 4 more hours that he can call me. So, but he told me that he's not expecting anything exciting. He's expecting it to all be normal. The good news, because I want to keep giving out good news, because I was pretty roughed up worrying about the dogs, especially because putting a dog through surgery is a lot emotionally.
Yeah.
And I was really worried for a minute there, and it may still happen, but it probably isn't, that I'd have to put them both through surgery like a couple of days apart.
Yeah.
I was worried about how I was going to handle it, not them, because they'll be fine. Henwolf's a champ. She just stomps out of surgery and is just like, where's the fucking food? But anyway, so what was I? Oh, what was I saying? I don't. I started thinking about how worried I am about dogs and that cold, dead stare in Michelle's eyes.
I'm sorry. I'm actually over here trying to get this program to respond without totally closing it.
Yeah, good luck with that. Don't close it.
Yeah, it's not going so well.
You broke it.
Yeah.
Let the record show Michelle broke the show.
Yep.
But no. So, the good news is Proin, the medication that they're probably going to be putting her on, only has one common side effect, and that's a raise of blood pressure. So they did a full blood pressure checkup on Henwolf, and her blood pressure is perfect. So
great. If
that does happen, she can bear it.
Good. I was afraid you were going to say that the main
side effect.
Thank you. Was incontinence, because I like every time, I like watch a commercial about like a medication. Yeah, it's always like one of the side effects is the thing you're trying to stop. So
no side effect of incontinence, but the general side effect is blood pressure can go up. Also, they did what's called a medicine blood panel, which is a different kind of blood panel than a standard one. And they take that before they're put on medication to make sure that they're ready to be put on a permanent medication.
Okay.
And then they take it a month or two after they've been on the medication to make sure that it's not negatively affecting them in any way. So, Proin's supposed to be a very good medication for dogs. For female dogs, it works very well. If for some reason she doesn't react well to it, they can give her estrogen, which is less likely to be effective, but it is another form of treatment. And until about 4 years ago, it was the form of treatment aside from surgery. So that's what's going on with them right now. And I want to say a huge thank you. A bunch of people have been following the saga on my Facebook and have been following the saga on Instagram and stuff. Thank you guys. I just put out there like, hey, if you guys want to help, because I'm spending a lot of money on the dogs, buy some movies at henflix.com, and a bunch of people bought movies at henflix.com. A few people even went so far as to tip my weekly spooky podcast and put in the notes, like, for the dogs. Thank you guys. You guys have already helped me to the point where you paid off Henwolf's vet visit. So now I just have to worry about paying off Chicano's vet. Well, I don't have to pay off Chicano's vet visit. I was able to pay that in cash. I was very fortunate.
Great.
But I am going to have to like charge his surgery. Which will probably be $500 to $650. It varies a lot. It depends on what happens. And sometimes they find more stuff, or they realize they need to do something else while he's under. So I can say safely $500 to $650 is probably what it's going to cost. But I'm going to put that on my medical card. So there'll be no interest for like 18 or 20 months or whatever. And that's very helpful.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on. Health update with me. I'm doing all right, but I gave myself heat stroke because I spend 4 weekends in the friggin' burning hot sun working on that movie. And I got exhausted a lot and stuff, but I was okay. I go for one fun walk at my favorite park and I get heat stroke.
Well, the difference was that you were prepared on the movie set.
No, the difference was that God is dead and we're alone.
Okay. I mean, we already knew that, but...
No, you're right. You are absolutely right. I was supposed to bring water. I also wasn't supposed to walk as much. I got excited and happy, and that was a big mistake, and I should never do it again.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, Frozen Michelle. I appreciate your pity.
I'm still trying.
So anyway, now that we got the dog thing out of the way, the dogs are well otherwise, by the way. Even though Henwolf is dealing with incontinence, she is not like in pain or acting differently. It's just that sometimes I have to clean her butt, because it's wet from peeing herself. A little bit. And most of the time it's a little bit. A couple of times it's been a lot. And it used to be that this happened like 3 times a year, but now it's happening like 3 or 4 times a month. So we got to get this solved. She's sleeping right over there. She looks so cute. Anyway, sorry. I love my dogs. I love my dogs so much and I want them to be well. And I will do anything to take care of them.
I'm glad that they have you.
I'm glad they have me too. I mean, I'm happy to have them, but I'm really glad I have them too, because I do not cut corners. I do not count pennies when it comes to their well-being. I just take care of them. I waited to adopt Henwolf until I knew I had money, like some money to spend.
Yeah.
Because when I got her, that was the funny thing. The vet was very surprised because when they told me like, oh God, her teeth are in rough shape and she has these tumors and, all this stuff. And they were like, okay, it's going to cost like $1,300 to get all the surgery stuff done. And I went, all right. And they were like, that's okay. And I'm like, yeah. I had planned for months about when I was ready to get a dog. So I was treating it like buying an old car because I adopt older dogs. So I was treating it like buying an older car. I knew she'd need work. So I'd set aside a lot of money ahead of time. So I just went, that's fine. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I would have rather spent that money on something else if that didn't need to be done.
Yeah.
But it needed to be done. So I did it. So I want to go back now that we've talked about all of that. I want to go back to Michelle, frozen Michelle, if you will. So how close are you to done with your education in home inspection?
So this is my last week of class. I don't know why this is my last week of class, because the schedule said it should be next week, and this week we shouldn't have class, but that's fine.
Wait, so when is your last actual class? Was it today?
No, Wednesday.
Oh, okay. So Wednesday. Wow. That's really soon.
The weeks are weird. The weeks are Saturday through Wednesday. So,
and you have 3 inspections left to do, or is it less? Can't believe you don't know. What a big shot, right, guys?
Maybe I have. Do I have 4?
I could have sworn you told me 3 after the other day.
Oh, right, because I did 2. So I have 3 left. Yeah.
Wow. So do you have to wait until you've done all the shadowing to take the test?
No, I could take it whenever, because it's not like a New Jersey home inspection test. It's the national one.
Oh, okay.
So I could take it whenever I feel like it, but I'm not ready to take it.
Oh, well, yeah.
So.
You want to finish your classes first and learn everything would probably be good. I mean, you paid for the goddamn classes. Yeah. So it'd probably be good to learn from them if you can, I guess. Maybe. So wow. Okay. So when are you planning to take the test? Do you have a plan in mind?
No, I don't. I'll finish the class and then I have a book. I'm going to go over that. I'm going to re-watch all the classes, Yeah. And then when I feel comfortable, basically, I'll take it. I don't know. Hopefully within the next, month. Because I just don't one of the things is I don't want to start forgetting things either. I mean, I've already forgotten everything in the electrical section. So I've got to look at it again. I don't want to start forgetting things, and I have to get out of my job as soon as possible. So
yes, you do.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting though. It feels like just yesterday you committed to taking these classes, and you're already really close to done.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything. I mean, because I never listen. So when you when you pass the test, does that combine with all the shadowing to get you your license, or how does that work?
Yeah, it does basically. I have to submit, I guess, my score, I guess, from the test or something, and then I have to submit the educational requirements and the field training stuff. And
then you're done.
Yeah, I guess. And then New Jersey's like, I don't really like you. And then they don't give me a license just because they don't like me.
Oh, so. Okay. So what you mean is they'll probably give you a license, but you just don't believe they will?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I have to get ENO Insurance to be licensed in New Jersey as well. I have to carry.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it is, but it's more than you have to have in PA. I know that.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Well, in New Jersey, you have to have a lawyer to buy a house.
Yeah, super weird.
Super weird. I mentioned that to my buddy Jeff yesterday, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Well, that's nice that it's more expensive to buy a more expensive house."
Yeah, it's really weird, and because my mom lives in New Jersey and she just bought a house, and I had been talking to her, and she was like, "But if you don't have a lawyer, who does like the title stuff?" And I was like, "The title company." And she's like, "Who puts together the the offer?" And it's like the real estate agent. Like, why do you need a lawyer?
It's like people in Jersey who, if they don't pump my gas, how will my gas get into the tank? It's like, you've been convinced you need this help. You don't.
Yes. Yeah, it's super weird.
That's really so weird. So, but wow, yeah. So you're on your way. Do you have your next shadow booked?
No, but I think it's going to be this coming Thursday because the home inspector that I like has a inspection somewhere in New Jersey that's actually probably an hour and 20 minutes from me. But I want to work with him because he seemed like he cared. He enjoyed having somebody to train. So
that's great. No, that's really good. And he might be good to know. He might be able to help you when you're licensed too.
Yeah.
Ask him for help.
I mean, he already told me all the tools that he's tried to promote himself that were really bad, that no one should use, that he lost money on.
Yeah.
He showed me a lot of his inspection stuff that he likes buying. So
basically he advertised on TikTok and it just did not work out.
Yeah. Actually, that would probably be fine. It seems like that actually does work. But no, apparently Home Advisor and Angie's List or Angie are just not helpful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now you know.
Good to know, yeah. Well, if you want, I'll make you a commercial.
That's nice. I've never seen a home inspector have a commercial before.
Exactly. People will remember you. Hi, I'm Michelle. I know I look weird, but I'll inspect your home.
And that's it. Yeah.
That's
and then my logo.
And it just says licensed.
Yeah.
No further details. Licensed.
I also don't even know what I'm going to call my company business thing.
Do you have ideas?
None that are good, really.
Well, you don't think any of your ideas are good, even the ones you go with.
But I don't have anything that I'm kind of relatively excited about. I really don't have anything.
What if your company was might be a cat home inspections and it's you, but you might be a cat?
I don't know if that'd work.
Or totally a human
yes.
in home inspection.
Human home inspections.
I mean, what I know about naming businesses is from old books. But one of the things they always suggest is using the word new at the start. So new and then whatever you want your name to be. I've heard that that's a very effective method because people like the phrase new. That's my input.
Huh. Do they still like the phrase new or do they like extreme now?
I think you're thinking of when we were in high school. Extreme. That's your company name. Extreme Home Inspectors. What if you just called your company Michelle's a Home Inspector? That's kind of
that would be correct.
But or Michelle Adler, Home Inspector and cat lover. Or what if you call it Weeb Home Inspectors? You could be an anime.
Everybody would be like, I'm sure that stands for something.
Exactly.
And then they wouldn't go with me.
Oh no, they'd be like, I hope that stands for something, and they look at it like, oh god, it means they like anime. Never mind. It's not okay. Anime is not okay. But I hope. I mean, are you gonna You don't have any ideas what you're going to go with?
No.
I'm sorry.
Unfortunately, I have a friend that has a construction business that's like Circle A construction. And I was like, oh man, that would have been good if he didn't take that name. But
why do you like Circle A?
I just like it because I have a last name that starts with an A. And I like anarchy. So it was okay.
Circle A. I'm dumb. That took me a minute. I get it now. What if you call it like definitely insured home inspectors? It's like a
in quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely insured home inspector. Well, we are accepting suggestions for what to call Michelle's home inspection company.
Okay.
Have you decided if you're going to LLC or just sole proprietor?
I don't know.
Okay. That's okay. You don't have to decide that today. But you will have to decide that someday.
Yeah.
So, well, I, for one, am looking forward to you running new Circle A home inspections. See, that's the way to do it. New Circle A.
Yeah, I don't think he would be impressed.
Where's his business?
In Philly.
Oh, well then, shit.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, it's not going to work. I thought we'd be able to get to the bottom of this. I really did.
No, it's okay.
What if you just called it like, please don't yell at me, home inspectors?
I think all these things would like just not work out for me in the long run. Or it would be good because someone would call me yelling and I'd be like, please don't yell at me. And they'd be like, I know. That's why I'm trying to call you. And I'd just be like, please don't yell at me.
Thanks for listening. You can email us at thisshowисawkward@gmail.com or go to awkwardshow.com or whatever. See you next time.